victim mentality is one of the most dangerous epidemics of our generation. What's wrong is always available, but so is what's right. Listen, I've been through a lot of bullshit in my life, and I'm sure you have too. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder at 7 years old. I moved 4 times during my childhood, getting bullied for being the new kid. That resulted in me having social anxiety during most of my teenage years. I was feeling lonely, weak, insecure, and isolated. I was addicted to porn for 10 years of my life. I've been through breakups like everybody. I've even thought about leaving this world behind a few times. But I've also been blessed with so much. We could sit here, complain, blame external circumstances, and play the victim all day. But how would that serve anyone? How would that serve us, people around us, or anything? Sure, it might provide you with the guilty pleasure of comfort in the present. It might also attract some compassion towards you, making you feel significant in a very twisted way. And sure, I get it. Taking responsibility might feel scary. It will suck. You will fuck up sometimes and will feel like all the weight falls down on your shoulders. But what is the alternative? Poor guy, life was just always so difficult for him. I know he was such a good guy, but luck just wasn't on his side. I always told him his dreams were too big for him. I guess he'll get better luck next time. Is that what you want people to say at your funeral? Fucking nightmare. Well, guess what? That's what you're setting yourself up for when you're playing the victim. My name is Danny Banchev. I'm the founder of the Off Porn Academy, and in the past months of my life, I've been fed up with the victim mentality. So I decided to make a video on how to turn your life into an epic story instead of a fucking victim. So the next few minutes will be separated into 2 different sections. In the first one, I'm gonna share with you a full explanation on the power behind stories. And then in the second section, I'm gonna share with you 3 steps on how you can start rewriting your story right now. Here's the thing, the quality of a human life can be summed up with this one statement: a story of perceived progress. That's it. Let's break it down. We don't experience reality. We experience an inner representation of reality through our senses. There are millions of bits of information entering our brain at every single moment of our lives. And the only way we can make sense of all of this chaos is through a story. The author behind the story is our perspective. And progress is what we're ultimately all striving for due to our unshakable instinct for evolution. Facts, events, things, people would be completely irrelevant without a purpose behind it, without a reason, right? What is a purpose if not a story? The current life story each of us is playing is a direct reflection of all of our beliefs, values, rules, and identities we perceive as truth. Now you might ask, what about the people listening to this and thinking, oh, come on, be realistic? Well, they would simply be playing a story called realism. So with that being said, a very good question to ask is, well, what story would be the most optimal story to play? Well, no need to look any further than the most influential myths, legends, and story that have fascinated humans for centuries. Let me ask you a question to paint a clearer picture here. Would you watch a movie where the character complains from the beginning to the end, never achieves anything, and dies as a victim? What about the movie where a character has a dream but never takes any action and plays safe out of fear, never taking any risks? Or actually, what about a movie where it's a super happy character, never has any problems, and never has any obstacles to go through? Boring. But we're all craving our courageous, selfless characters, overcoming obstacles, fighting dark forces, demons, dragons, and shit for a higher, bigger purpose than them. That's what we call a hero's journey, and is the most successful storyline in history. It's the story of Harry Potter, The Lord of the Rings, The Matrix, Star Wars, The Avengers, Spider-Man, Lion King, etc. It's also what makes real-life leaders like Jesus, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, and Socrates so inspiring. We all have a mission to accomplish, or goals. We have dragons to slay or problems to solve, and we have treasures to share, lessons and legacy when we do. If you're still watching this video right now, you know it. You are called upon the adventure of a lifetime. The biggest treasures are always hiding behind the dragons, where you're most afraid to look. Make that shit epic. So here are 3 steps on how to start rewriting your story right now. Step number 1, practice presence through meditation. Remember the rule, if you can observe it, it's not you. When you meditate, you gain awareness on that story, meaning you realize it's not who you are. You are literally not a victim. And that actual realization is very important because as long as we believe something is who we are, we will do anything to protect it. Meditation is also the most effective place to face your inner dragons, which are often guarding the biggest treasures. So open your calendar right now and schedule 15 minutes per day where you just sit down in silence without any distractions and you observe what's happening inside of you, the thoughts, the emotions that come and go from a place of open curiosity and radical acceptance. As you get used to it, you can then start applying that meditative state, a state of surrendering to what's happening, being present, observing what's happening inside of you to your day-to-day life as well. That will serve as a reminder of who you really are. Step number 2, sharpen your perspective by creating contrast. That's how you expand your consciousness and you gain more options when it comes to the stories you choose to live. Get obsessed with asking questions, talk to different people, read different books, listen to different podcasts, look at different perspectives, journal your realizations, your ideas. What's the story I would have to believe to feel or act this way? What's an alternative, more empowering story I could believe? Keep asking questions. Trust me, the more you do this, the more you'll realize you can choose to be whoever the fuck you want to be and no one can stop you. And step number 3, back it up with action by voting with your habits. That's how you build an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you really say you are. Once you have an inspiring story to live by, for example, my favorite one is The Chosen One, the narrative behind Jesus, The Matrix, Harry Potter, and so on, right? So once you choose a story like that, start scheduling habits in your calendar that serve as proof that this is who you really are. For example, I dedicate 3 hours every morning, 6 to 7 days per week to writing. This practice leads to newsletters, videos, articles, Twitter posts, Instagram posts, video courses, sales letters, anything that can get my message out there. That's how I vote for my story, by committing to my truth and doing whatever it takes to get it out there, no matter what people say. This is right now how I experience my hero's journey. Remember, a story is never perfect and there will always be exceptions. So be patient with yourself, but aim to create as much congruency as possible, meaning aim to provide as much proof with your actions that you are who you really say you are. All right, my people, that was all for me today. Hopefully I hyped you up a little bit and you're gonna start rewriting your story right now. Remember, every single one of us is our own main character in our hero's journey. If your life was a movie and it started right now, what would the hero do? Choose to be that hero and you will be called upon the adventure of a lifetime. With that being said, there are 3 more ways I can help you. Number 1, if you prefer learning by reading, then you'll be happy to hear that this video you just watched is the exact script of only one of the lessons in this week's edition of the Triple Wisdom Wednesdays, which is my newsletter. So every week I share 3 powerful principles that can help you progress faster with less pain. It takes about 10 minutes to read and it's completely free. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the description. Or if you prefer by watching videos, then this is the right place to be. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be very grateful. Now, the second way I can help you is that if you're a man and you're on a mission to become the greatest man your bloodline has ever seen, instead of settling for cheap pleasure, then you can join the #1 porn addiction recovery brotherhood in the world right now. It's called the Off Porn Academy. The link is in the description. We'll be waiting for you on the other side. And last but not least, the third way I can help you is that if you don't want to be left behind during this digital gold rush, then you can join the school games where 30.4% of new members make their first dollar online. You can start your free trial today. The link is in the description as well. But other than that, thank you all so much for listening. I'm so grateful for y'all. Much love. Take care, and I'll see you here soon. Bye-bye.